Let's see the recent maritime accidents. Brisa freighter disabled in Bosphorus on its way to Ukraine. The cargo ship Brisa had mechanical breakdown while transiting the Bosphorus in the north and was forced to anchor in an emergency on September 3 in the Komdali area. The ship is on its way to Kornomorsk, Ukraine. Crew extinguishes fire on Quantum of the Seas. The cruise liner Quantum of the Seas caught fire in the evening of September 1 and was extinguished within an hour by the crew. Passengers were not alerted or notified, which created considerable dissatisfaction. The fire was believed to be in the engine room and possibly some utility compartments. At Rouen, France, Epic's cargo hold caught fire. A fire broke out in the cargo hold of the bulk carrier Epic, which was carrying approximately 8,000 tons of metal debris. 40 engines and 70 firefighters, including a tug, were dispatched to put out the blaze. The fire was brought under control by the morning of September 3, although it was still burning. Pilot boat collision in Kobe kills skipper and pilot. At around 3 o'clock Tokyo time on September 4, a pilot boat carrying 5 persons collided with a breakwater at Kobe port in Japan. The collision killed the 52-year-old boat captain and the 71-year-old pilot, while 3 crew members were critically injured. Fire disables tanker Hafnia Tanzanite, Netherlands. The tanker Hafnia Tanzanite caught fire in the engine room when it was possibly in transit. The Halon fire suppression system put out the fire, but the tanker was crippled. At 14:30 UTC, she was either dead in the water or anchored, with the tug Ansar boat at her side. Have Marlin collided with a pier, Germany, sustained damages. With 2,800 tons of fertilizer on board, the cargo ship Have Marlin collided with a pier while moored at Vero port in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Germany. Both the ship and the pier were damaged, with the ship's boardside forecastle and bow substantially dented. Fire on container ship Zhangzhou Qiang, Taiwan Strait. In the Taiwan Strait, northeast of Xiamen, a fire broke out in the engine room of the cargo ship Zhangzhou Qiang. All 19 members of the crew were evacuated and are safe. The container ship will be towed, and the situation is believed to be under control as of the morning of September 6. In a Greek port, a general cargo ship collided with Gorda S. Both ships apparently experienced damage in the bow portion and the STB region, but no leak happened, and both are still docked. In the early hours of September 7, a general cargo ship collided with the general cargo ship Gorda S at Amphilochia port in the Embrace Gulf, northwest Greece. After collision, container ship MSC Crimea is disabled and adrift. The MSC Crimea has been reported disabled and adrift in the Andaman Sea 270 NNW of Phuket, Thailand since September 8. As of September 9, ICE is operational. The ship apparently collided with a 30-meter barge, sustaining significant damage. Tomahawk failed to transit Bosphorus after engine failure. Bulk transporter after an engine failure. Tomahawk was unable to pass the Bosphorus on September 8 evening. Traffic control tugs returned the ship to a Herkapi anchorage, where it remained anchored as of September 9. Turkish maritime authorities have recognized her as a grain ship, with a likely destination in Ukraine. Salvage of the Dutch cargo ship Helge off Denmark. Helge collided with the reefer Wild Cosmos around 0320 on September 9 in the North Sea, 32 nautical miles northwest of Ringkøbing, Denmark. The Helge was breached and began taking on water. Later versions stated that the ship sank and 7 crew members were rescued. The ship was still floating and adrift. In the Gulf of Tonkin, Vietnam, the tanker HN01 carrying 1,000 tons of oil sank. The tanker HN01, carrying approximately 1,000 tons Vietnamese petroleum, sank at anchoring outside Diem Dien Port Channel in Tay Binh Province late on September 8. There have been no complaints of an oil leak, but authorities have deployed the Oil Response Agency to cope with a probable leak and oil on board. A cargo ship, the Phoenix Dawn, was disabled in the Dardanelles. The engine of the bulk carrier Phoenix Dawn, which was ballasting from Lomé, Togo, to Novorossiysk, Russia, failed on September 9 while traversing the Dardanelles. The ship anchored in an emergency and was towed 2 hours later to the Sevkitai harbor in the Marmara Sea. Hakata Queen, a bulk carrier, went nuke, damaging the Barranquilla pier. On September 9, the coal-laden bulk ship Hakata Queen lost control after unmooring at Colombia's Barranquilla port. The cause of the ship's nuke is unknown, however it is most likely a mechanical failure. Denmark, a Danish training tall ship, contacted the US about a brand new littoral combat ship, a tall ship for training in Denmark. Denmark made touch with wooden piles before docking with the brand new U.S. littoral combat ship USS Minneapolis St. Paul. According to reports, both ships incurred minimal damage. The tall ship was dragged from the inner harbor and anchored in the Patapsco River in Baltimore Harbor. Egyptian freighter Lotus ran into coral reefs in the Gulf of Aqaba, Red Sea. General cargo ship Lotus ran aground on a coral reef at Marine Reserve in Gulf of Aqaba, Jordan, Red Sea. After an hour and a half, we were refloated and towed to the anchorage. The reef was destroyed, but no word about an oil leak. Dredger Selde Ord collided with feeder Heinrich Keller, Brunsbüttel, Kiel Canal, in Brunsbüttel, near Northern Lock. The cargo ship Heinrich Keller collided with the dredger Selde Ord. According to reports, the dredger was severely damaged. Later that day, the feeder began transit, completed passage, and was sailing in the Baltic Sea as of September 13. 2 stowaways were killed and 12 escaped in an incident on board the Chinese bulker Ophelia. 12 Nigerian stowaways had to flee the Chinese bulk freighter Ophelia. The details and the overall tale are conflicting, insufficient, and muddy. There were 14 of them who sneaked and concealed on board, and 2 of them were allegedly slain by Chinese crew. Ship Xinyu Anzhu heavily listed in Yellow Sea, abandoned. 13 crew members jumped into life rafts and were rescued by SAR ship Donghai Jiayu 118. Stormy seas generated by Typhoon Nifa overpowered the ship. Her last ice position was about 3:40 UTC September 14, and she was in good health as of 15:40 UTC. Fire disables Turkish freighter Mona in Greek waters. No injuries have been recorded as a result of a fire on the cargo ship Mona in the Aegean Sea off the coast of Chios. The ship was traveling from Ashdod to Tuzla and had to anchor in front of Aegio Gala Hamlet on the Greek island of Chios. She may continue her journey on her own or require towage. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions or comments, drop it in comments section. Subscribe to MarinAura for more updates.